Hey guys, getting ready to install our cable rail posts. We have a lot of fabrication to do, but the first thing I had to do, figure out a couple things about proof of concept, how we're gonna mount these posts and where are we gonna mount these posts and how many did we need? Do we have enough or too many? So on and so forth. So what I do when I'm trying to figure that out is I draw myself a little diagram of where all the posts need to go. And because it's cable rail, there's line posts and there's end posts. The end posts have bigger holes in them so that you can put the hardware through to tension the cable. And the line posts have a smaller hole where you're just feeding the cables through the holes to create your strands. So basically, what I have here is I have 3 different sections of cable because you can only run cable railing so far before you have to terminate and start a new run, or else it'll get too stretched out and it'll sag in the future, and you don't want that, right? So I have one run that goes from this end to this end here. So the E represents an end post and the L represents a line post. So for the first section, I have an end where it terminates. So there's hardware here. Then the cable stretches through these over to here to this end post and stops. Then I start another run, this straight run right here, which is about 30 feet. That's our longest run that we have. And then I have another run. On this one, we go from an end termination, and then all these are lines all the way around the corner to another end right there. So this section and this section are about the same length. This one's pretty short, so this one will be easy to tension. This one will be pretty easy to tension. This one will take a little bit more effort to tension because there's 3 90-degree corners in that run. But what I did was I marked out every post location so that I kind of knew how many feet I have in between each post, and we're going 5 feet or less. We have a really nice top cap that's going on top of all this that stabilizes the top of the post so that they don't bend or bow both ways. It's a really robust top cap. And then there's a closure cap that snaps in underneath so you can't see inside of the railing. Really all we're worried about today is figuring out the lengths. We have 2 posts up here. One's installed and it's an end post. So that's this post right here is this end post, and you can see the bigger holes. And then I have another post just sitting on the deck. That's a line post, and that'll pretty much go anywhere. So what we had to do, because the company that we buy this from, they sell it at a certain length. So these posts are a certain length because they don't know how big your fascia is. They don't know what your points of attachment are. They just sell you the stuff, and then you got to figure all that out. So right now what we're doing is we're cutting down all of our posts to a specific height. Then we're going to pre-drill. We had to figure all this out. So it took us an hour and a half to figure all this out. Like, where are we mounting these? Where are we pre-drilling these? How are we gonna mount them to the side of the deck? How are we gonna notch out for the excess decking that's sticking out past the edge of the fascia board? All that stuff's been figured out. So now we're starting to cut down the posts. We're gonna cut those to length. Then we gotta pre-drill for a couple holes for our fasteners. And then they also included a stiffener, which I'll show you guys downstairs. There's a stiffener that goes inside the post, and then we can mount those posts to the deck. So that's what we're up to. Six-inch, I need so many with 6-inch bolts, and then I need some, let's see, with 8, I think with 8s. Let me get a measurement, Bentley. Sixes and 10s. So we'll skip the 8s. How many of each? I don't know. I need to give you a number. I can do that now. Oh, with my handy diagram, I can figure that out. 7. All right, so now we have our posts cut to length. We got to do a few things to the posts before we can start mounting them to the deck. So we got to pre-drill some holes, which I already have those measurements of where I need to come down and drill, and I have to do both sides. I have to drill one side and the other. So when you're working with aluminum, you can move things around and scratch them up. So we like to use some carpet on our table so that if we're dragging things around, even though there's some dirt and some aluminum shavings, odds are it's not going to scratch it as easy as we move things around as if you're just on a table with wood or something like that. So just a quick tip. So what we have to do here is we have to pre-drill the holes, and then this company, they give us a stiffener that we put inside of the post so that when we're putting in our fasteners, it doesn't cave the wall of the post in. It makes it for a very stable connection. So once we put these in here and we drill our holes, then there's also a beauty cap that's gonna go on the bottom of this with a weep hole. We're gonna attach that with 2 fasteners, and then if there's any condensation that builds up inside the post, it'll drain out through the bottom of the post like so. That's the concept. Let's go ahead and get started on that, and we'll go from there. Okay, I'm gonna put just a pair of bunks down here. All right, so we have all of our posts prepped and ready to go. So now we're going to go up and start installing the posts, shimming them out, making them plumb, and getting them ready for the top rail install. So we got 30 posts installed. It's quite a few. So I'm not sure if we'll get any further than that today, but let's get started so you can kind of see how we mount our rail posts to the deck. So we need 5 and then 1 big one. I got 4 smalls, and then we'll figure out the rest. Oh, I should grab a scrap. And I can check it with a scrap. Just a little bit further. That's beautiful. Okay, cool. Got a little WD-40. Okay, you got a torpedo on you? And I need a drill. Go ahead and get it somewhat level. Okay, check it the other way. Oh, wow. Okay, let me snug it. How's that? All right, next. The first 2 are fine. And I'll be honest, like it's still outside of the deck. Better be safe than sorry, right? Come on down. See Luna. Once our top rail's in, these will not move. So once you get them plumb, then as long as we don't knock them out of whack, we're good. I don't think I need to do any routing on this one. Needs to go in. Okay, and again, it's okay, I got you. Good? Okay. These are going pretty quick, so quicker than I thought. Except now we're going into a different metal, so this might change. This might change things a little. Snow! It's snowing. Okay, so now we've completed our one row, which I'm happy about. It went in really quickly. So now we have to change gears because we're using a different length fastener. We're using a Fasten Master Versalock product. Going into the wooden beams, we have one length that we're using that's 6 inches. If we used a 10-inch fastener, it would poke all the way through, wouldn't look good. You know, we just want to go in where we need to. Now we're going through 1 inch of fascia, 1 3/4 inches of metal framing, and then into a 6x6 beam underneath all that. So we're going to a 10-inch fastener instead of a 6-inch fastener. Same thing, same brand, same type. These are structural construction legs, so they work really well for this type of application. The trick is I have to drill through the aluminum before I can get to the wood. So I have to use a special drill bit that I have that's long enough to get through the post, the fascia, and the metal joist so that I can get to that coveted 6x6 I need to get the connection for the post. So that's what we're gonna do. Drill a hole through all that, not really through the 6x6 too much, and then we can put in the fasteners. Okay, I want to put this fastener in first before we go any further because it's going to help keep this thing stable. Okay, you ready? Wow, it looks pretty good from this angle. Oh, we have to go in. Okay, that's good. Actually, that's good news because that way. Okay, so let me drill this one out. Okay, that's through both. I can feel it. I can feel it. Okay, here we go. You ready? Money, honey? This off for a sec, T. So now this is where 2 of the tensioners will be installed on this cable. So we have one run going this way for 30 feet, and we're gonna tighten all those right here. And then this section that's gonna go all the way around this section of the deck over here, we have another post that's gonna be tensioned. That's why there's double holes, these bigger holes with 2 posts right here for this corner. I'll be able to tension everything from the inside, and we're well within our 4-inch clearance of gap that we need for code so that there's no room for a child to get through this that they could fall to their demise. So looking good, guys. All right. right, guys, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. If you learned a little something about how to place a post or do a post layout today, don't forget to click that subscribe button and hit the bell icon to be notified when we're putting out new content. Don't forget to watch our shorts. Leave me a comment below. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.